Hello and welcome to the Stampscapes lab. We're going to make two, I call them Dinky cards or something like that, Dinky reflection cards. Very small pieces. I had some scrap pieces, so I just chopped it in two here. And this is one size. I don't know. I think it's 2 by 4, something like that. And this one's, I don't know, some odd size. I think it's I don't remember. I don't have a ruler right next to me, but I don't know. These are just, I don't know. This type of holographic, I think it's an A4 they call it or something like that. So it's not 8.5 by 11. So I don't know. I have some uneven kind of scrap pieces when I finish off with a standard 4.25 by 5.5 doing this type of thing. So I thought I would do some small pieces and we would do just some very quick, I don't know, whatever, scenic scenarios here. Okay, I have a couple of the just real popular sets here. I'm going to go with the Lakeside Cabin. You can't go too big on these because we don't have very much space with them, so let's start off with this. Okay, so reflection cards. This Lakeside Cabin here has these reflective kind of textures down here. Now you could take this and go for this edge right here on the edge like that, but I don't really bother with that. I just go for this kind of this shoreline right here and up, stamping it right on down here, okay? Now you're gonna have to use StazOn ink. Hello, Linda. If you blink, you're gonna miss this one. Hey, thanks for that tip on the cleaning off of the holographics. Yeah, you already told me that, but I think I forgot. Okay, so if you want to, you can just kind of aim this and hit it like this potentially and go like that, but I'm going to see if I can get this edge. I'm just going to kind of make note of it. You can kind of see the edge right here with that area sticking out like that. And we'll just go over like this. Don't worry if you're a little bit off one way or another, a little bit high, a little bit low. This is a reflection card, so it's not really going to matter. Now normally, or I don't know about normally, but a lot of times I would do kind of this white pigment ink haze in the background so that the image stands out a little bit stronger, you know, dark over this holographic. You can see there's dark reflections on the holographic, so you can't see like black ink over this darker area when it's angled a certain way very well. But these are supposed to be really, you know, super fast cards, so we're not going to bother doing that. We'll try to differentiate, or I don't know, kind of have that impression stand out a little bit more. With some additional time. You know what I did here? I stamped too long here. Ah, darn it. We can't clean that off, huh, Linda? I stamped too long and it removed the foil like that. Here, repair work right here really fast. Okay, let that be a lesson to you. Don't do as I do here. Okay. So we're going to make this one fast here, or try to. Okay, faster impression. It adhered, the ink dried, and it just removed the ink. There we go, like that. So, I don't know. I guess it makes it a faster card or something like that. I don't know if I can use this right here. Let's see if I can. Here, I'll use this as the bottom reflection portion, but I'll just cover it up with some trees. Okay, so that's what we have right here. Okay, now I'm going to bring out that window with some white pigment ink, and see down here is my goof up right here. So this is scenic stamping though, right? I didn't plan for this. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our trees, and I'm just going to stamp over this area here with some darker ink, and I'll try to make it quick. instead of removing the surface of my foil, I'll be transferring ink onto the foil like that. I don't do these things. I play around with so many different combinations of media. I don't know. I don't know if I remembered that though. You know, stamping too long. with the StazOn, removing, holographic or foil surfaces like that. Hello, Candy. Edge of the reflection card to frame. Cool. All right, here we go. Okay, I want that nice and juicy too. And we'll go first. I'm probably going to be using a few more of the Pines and Rocks Small than originally intended, just for the purpose of obscuring. Okay, like so. As I was doing that, I was thinking, am I holding that down too long here? I do like these really fast cards, though. Sometimes, like, I don't know, yesterday I was like coloring a lot, So it's like, this is like the opposite side of, I don't know, whatever, multi-layer, multimedia coloring. All right, so a little bit of that reflection card like that. There's a lot of similar, very loud textures in here, of course, with that holographic over holographic like that. But what we'll do is we'll take this. Now, I've been splatter painting, okay, but I want to keep this like really, really simple. Okay, so let's add in some additional texturing in here with the use of the gold pen and white pen. Okay, just gold because, I don't know, a lot of people have gold and white paint pens out there, or gel pens. Okay, hello, Darlene. Feels weird to admit I just found your channel. Well, hey, glad you found it, and thanks for joining in here on the live. It depends where you are, darling, but, Stampscapes are on Stampscapes.com. And there's also a retail listing. So if you're here in the US, yeah, Stampscapes.com. Okay. And there's links in the description sections of all the videos for the items used. Okay, so a few little stars up here. Gold against gold doesn't stand out too much, except in the right kind of lighting. Sometimes the gold, like on a piece of white paper, looks dark, but then if you hold it up to the light, it's reflective of light, so it changes. So we have a surface on here that's changing too, just from the very nature of foils and reflective surfaces. So I'd say I don't know, holographic foundations are really great interactive pieces. When people get a card from us or a project or something like that, they're usually looking at it, and opening it up, or they're just looking at it like that. But when you give someone something like this, they're a lot more apt to take it and look at it and observe it and enjoy it at different angles. So it becomes kind of an interactive piece, which is kind of fun. You're given something. It's a card, but it's, I don't know, there's a spirit of it being almost like, something to play with a little bit, Now, I'm not going to play with it for like a half an hour, but you know what I mean? they'll look at it a little bit more, they'll kind of investigate what it does a little bit more so than most other types of surfaces. And the fun thing about this is that it becomes such a fast and easy type of, dynamic card application, because the surface itself is dynamic, so we don't have to really do anything because it's already inherently that way. So we just have to kind of stay out of its way in some ways. And just let it be what it is. Okay, I'm adding a little bit more stars in there like that to give it a little bit more dimension. And you can see those gold ones in there with the white, and I kind of like that. Okay, so let's go into the window here of this cabin, and we'll give this whatever, cabin on the lake, a little bit of a interior lighting glow. I kind of missed a couple spots here on my impression, so I'm just going to take my... I was a little bit gun shy when doing that one. After that one, I removed the ink here, so I'm just going to take my little Q-tip here and fill that in, about like so. Okay, and there's our little interior lit cabin like that. Okay, and that's going to read really nicely in our reflection down there. You can see that window reflection like that. See it, so you can't see it too well like that. Okay, see when we have the lighting on it right there, but then as they move across like that, you can see that. Look at that red right there as it goes, transitions into there like that. It's kind of like a time lapse, You see these time lapse videos of the Northern Lights and how they kind of move and change, and that's what this is kind of doing here with that holographic source like that. So I was mentioning in my other video, I often go with just a plain gold cardstock below like that. And I think that might be more effective like that. See, look at that reflection down there is just, of the cabin is a lot more distinct, okay? I probably like that a little bit more, but I've been just experimenting with holographic over holographic like this. So what you get is this holographic patterning reflecting down here, and then it's kind of just bouncing back and forth. So I've been kind of curious to see what that would look like. Maybe it looks like more like a flame or something like that. I don't know. But it's kind of interesting. All right, so down here, as people do, they go out like kayaking dangerously at night. But I just want to get some kind of focal point down here. It's not really a focal point though. People and animals, when you stamp them into scenes, they tend to be kind of visual landing points. People's eye goes right to them. But on the holographic, it kind of swallows it up, so it's kind of more, oops. It's kind of more of like a secondary type of image. I said oops because I was holding that down for a little bit too long, but you can see it right there. But that little kayaker in there, it's kind of like, I don't know, someone will see it right away, because they might be looking at it like this or something like that, and it's like, what is that? Oh, it's a little kayaker down there. But so you can kind of like reveal it, at certain angles like that. So it's like a hidden type of little figure in there. I guess you can see them like that. Okay, I came really close to obscuring my reflection of that illuminated interior on that cabin like that. Try to avoid that. Try to avoid stamping anything down here that's going to obscure the reflection that's coming from up here. So if you have a moon or something like that, well, a moon's cool because it's cool to have like a, some kind of little figure going in front of the reflection of the moon down here. But if it's something that you want kind of visible down here in a reflection, then don't stamp something over it like that. But anyways, it's a fun little card like this. Okay, it's just like it can almost be like a tag on a present or something like that if you want to go a little bit further with it. And then I don't know, on this one right here, if it's a gift tag, it's small, it could be whatever, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, whatever. I mean, that Northern Lights one would be probably a good, a wintry type of, card, although it's not winter right here. We had those just amazing Northern Lights just last weekend, but, it could be something like that. So I'm just going with this. This is on the Gold Brilliance ink here. I really like the quote with this, of this one in gold here. It would stand out more if you embossed it, but again, this is supposed to be a really, really fast card right here. And he goes something like that. As I've mentioned before, if you stamp like a word stamp in here in white ink on this surface right here, the lower portion, it looks like it's the word stamp or quote is floating in the water. Now, one of the things I did recently was I was giving it's like a Mother's Day card. Well, it was a Mother's Day card. And what I did, not on this holographic one down here, but I had gold down here. And I just wrote, the Happy Mother's Day in a gold pen on gold reflection right in here, just, handwriting, Happy Mother's Day 2024, etc. in the water section like that, just on gold foil. And, it looks like your handwriting is floating on the water's surface like that. So that makes for a fun little project. But look at this little card right here. And this is really fast to do. It would have been faster if I hadn't done that little stamping impression blunder. But I'll try to remember it. I almost already forgot it by the time I was stamping that little kayaker on there. So, I don't know. I don't have a good memory. Okay, so this one right here, look how dinky this one is right here. Here's like the size of my hand right here, okay? But same foil, the gold one over gold like that. Okay, hello, Kay. I've tried the website, but it doesn't seem to load for me. Huh, that's strange. Well, let me know. Okay, so let's go with the smaller, this one right here. Let's go with the smaller Lakeside Cove right here. We're going with the smaller format. You could use the larger Lakeside Cove and it would just be like one impression over the entire thing, but this isn't going to go like right here. Here's the water line on this one right here, the shoreline right there. And it comes out, this is a cove, so it comes out a little bit larger to the left and right like that. Let's see, I need a acrylic block that's going to fit this. Let's go with this one right here. Okay. And ink up a little bit more than you think you're going to need. Okay. Remember, with StazOn ink, you have to be fairly quick. I don't think there's any difference between these. This one seems a little bit scuffed up here. We'll go with this one for the top here. Okay, let's make a quick impression with it. Try to remove it while it's still kind of wet. I went a little bit higher, but like I said, with these reflection cards, if you go a little bit higher or lower, no big deal. Or actually, it's not just with reflection cards, but any card. Okay, so stamping the left and right sides of this just to fill this space out a little bit more with Stampscapes imagery. You don't have to do careful masking with most things. You want to overlap by 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch. If it's a large stamp, you can even overlap a full inch. Which, surprisingly, the absence of masking makes the technique in many people's eyes harder to do, because they're so used to cutting out masks and things like that. And they're not used to just overlapping things. They think that kind of the combination of imagery is harder to do because, you're removing a certain process out of there that they're so familiar with in layering images together, But those are outline images, so keep masking with that type of thing. Because if you have line going over line, you'll be able to see that, both tone over tone, you can't. Okay, so more stars like this. We'll make it really fast here. Whoever answers how many dots I just laid down there wins the card. I'm just joking. Okay, that was gold. And this is white. You can just do white too. The gold, I don't know, it doesn't stand out enough. I'd really recommend the white in here. You can do other things if you want to get, even more, I don't know, dare we say elaborate. It's not really elaborate, but you can put little dots of stickles, glitter, whatever, glue, or lay down some glitter on there. A couple little crystals up there, crystal rhinestones up there would be really cool. All right, there's your reflection like that. Okay. Look at that. You can just leave it at that, but it looks a little bit better with the foreground though. So let's go with that here. Where'd my stamp go? Here we go. We'll use the same Pines and Rocks Small here in the foreground. If you just joined in, thanks for joining in. StazOn ink over foil. Don't make your impression time too long. Take a look at my first impression that I did in this live stream, and you'll see an example of what not to do. You'll see an example of bad technique, apparently. Maybe not on all foils. Like this one's a little bit more prone, I guess, to whatever, the removal of surface, I guess. But like these, the gold and the silver, I find, I think they have a little bit of a layer of something over the top of it, but this one's just kind of bare, whatever, holographic surface on there. So the StazOn ink dries so fast on it, which is one of the selling points of, StazOn here, and it's solvent, so I held it down too long, and the ink just completely dried and it adhered to the surface. So instead of transferring the ink onto the surface, it removed the surface onto the stamp, All right, so there's our foreground like this. And there we go, in combination like that. Look how dynamic a little card that is. I don't know if we can see. We can't really see. There's too much light kind of bouncing back and forth to see the stars reflecting down here. But, see, these are all interchangeable too. You can do all kinds of things with these reflection cards. Let's take this top component off, and let's put this one up here, okay? Now, I won't put these ones down below because it's like the taller trees are up there, but that's kind of reversed out. But let's take a look at this holographic right here with just those trees, and let's go just silver foil down below, and look at that right there. Now you wouldn't go with this size right here, but that's just an example of it right there. But look at that. I feel like I'm back in the 70s, at some store that has a lot of like velvet black light posters or something like that, or like a lava lamp. It's nature's lava lamp. Lava lamp cards, we'll call it that. All right, so that's like that. All right, and I like that little character down below. Or let me see. That kayaker. I don't know if this is going to be too. Yeah, this person's going to be too big. They would like to be the same height as the pine trees if I use that. Here's a full 4.25 by 5.5 inch side. I was going to think about putting this paddle border in this one, but this one's too dinky. It would look like the paddle border was like, I don't know, a 12-foot tall giant or something like that. Let's just keep it simple. Let's go with the same kayak side view here. All right, quicker impression this time. And I'll go a little bit lower too, just so we can see the reflection of the Lakeside Cove a little bit easier. And we have these. These cards are stiff enough to where I just tape them in with my tape runner. You don't have to use a spray adhesive like that, but look at that patterning on this one. All these, I mean, it's the same paper, but it seems like I get a slightly different pattern. Now see that one right there where it's like that little cross thing like that, that X, this little pyramid, I think it's because this is the holographic down here. If I switch this out, yeah, it's just straight pillars like that. No, okay, no, this one did turn it, but it's a little bit of a different pattern here with just the straight gold down here. Okay. By the way, I like silver if I'm doing like a blue toned top area up here or something like that, like a cool tone. I tend to like the silver mirrored cardstock, but since we're going warm tone gold, you go warm tone below with like a warm tone below with the gold foil like that. So I don't know. I'm learning new things about different reflective surfaces. We also have a red foil. This one's the Recollections one, so it's not super reflective. But look at this. So, yeah, I guess, okay, no, this one's like a brushed aluminum, but I have one that's a lot more reflective and mirrored than this one. See, it's kind of like a brushed aluminum, but look at this one right here, what it does. And it really changes. Boy, that doesn't look too bad. You know, like that. You'd have like a blood red surface, though. Might be cool for like a Halloween card. I don't know. You put like a full moon up here in white or something like that, reflecting down here. That might be an interesting combination like that. It's like a blood red sky, like that. All right, fooling around here. I get totally geeked out with when I see these cards, and I haven't, you know, you're looking at a lot of. It's like the first time I've seen it too, you know. Like those combinations right there. There's so many media surface combinations out there for us to kind of investigate. Linda, you have that red foil. Maybe we can do some. We can use some of that red foil. Sometimes Linda bought a pack of the red mirrored foil. I don't know if she got it on sale like I did. I didn't have use for like a pack of, you know, full 8.5 by 11. I don't know what it was. Was it 50 sheets or something like that or something? But so we're always looking for, you know, just like anyone else, like different ways to use it. You know, especially if it's been in the, you know, the supplies for a while. So like a reflection card would be really cool. So in All Things of Nature, there's something marvelous. And we get these in here like this. And the fun thing about these StazOn types of applications is that, you know, all of this is like completely dry right now. But look at this right here. It's really fun stuff to do. Pretty dynamic, you know, especially if you haven't given anyone a card like this before. And they're used to getting our cards. It's like a different look for people. Getting something like this. And like I said, these ones are like just the scrap pieces. So, you know, it's a really great way to use them. And like I said, it's just something inherently, you know, dynamic and kind of interesting. I studied illustration in college, and it's one of those things, you know, when you're doing like, I don't know, whatever commercial art and, you know, ad work, you know, stuff for ads or, I don't know, whatever, like print media, which doesn't really exist anymore. But I try to get this so you can see this one right here a little bit easier. You know, if someone's flipping a magazine or something like that, or going through somewhere, store or something like that, and you have some kind of artwork up, if you can get someone to kind of pause for a little bit longer than they normally would have from, I don't know, an existence of some visual that you've done, you've really succeeded. So if we're giving like a card to someone, yeah, I think, you know, anyone that we're giving cards to, I'm sure they really appreciate it, you know. People that make cards like us, if we give it to someone, it's like, you know, they didn't give a darn, or, you know what I mean, and mention it. A lot of times after time, if they, I don't know, don't acknowledge something about the handmade aspect of it. A lot of times what I've heard from stampers is they don't, card makers, is they don't give that person, the handmade stuff anymore. So they'll really appreciate it. But, if you can get certain things like them to interact with the card for a little bit longer than normal, or if they kind of, look at it, or if it's on display, something like this, if it's in an area that has changing light, it's a little bit different because it's kind of like glaring back at them. It's kind of an attention getter. It's like a little prism or something like that, reflecting light. And then as someone walks across the room too, if this is kind of like this on display, as they walk from one side to another, if they're looking in that direction, it does this. It kind of changes because at different angles, that holographic reflective quality, comes into play like that. So it's just really fun stuff like that. And with this particular one, it's a really loud holographic. I didn't know what to do with it originally. Well, I saw them use it on Stamp Wars, but it was almost something that was so loud and it had so much contrast in it. When you stamp a dark object over the top of it, sometimes you can't see it. So, okay, that's why I went with largely kind of a little bit more solid silhouette style of images directly on here. If I'm not going to put like this cloudy white pigment ink haze in the background and then stamp over it with the black ink, we have to go with something fairly bold for it to even show up over this type of paper. So, just keep that in mind, the more silhouette-y styles of things, and then you just use the right medium on top of it, your solvent inks, or you can do some embossing of images on here. But if you do that on the foils, just be careful when you're heating up the embossing powders on them, that you don't kind of, sometimes heat can affect that holographic look of, or metallics, or on some of the holographics. Some of them are a little bit different. Sometimes they start like to curl a little bit, and some I thought, when I held it down for too long, I thought it delaminated or something like that one time. So you do that thing where if you're embossing it, so just heat it and then lift some heat, heat it, lift some heat, and then also you can heat from the back of it, and that can do the trick. Some are a little bit more sensitive than others, though. I'm talking about just the metallic foil cardstocks in general, not just the holographics. So anyway, let's see. I love the holographics. I've got a supply of them. Great, Catherine. Hope you enjoyed that. This is a way to use holographic papers. Yeah, it's really fun. So this is my first experiments with the holographic over holographic too. The holographic over just, like I said, the neutral metallics mirrored. It might read easier, you know what I mean? But this is just like a little, like I said, it's like an experiment on there. I do like, when you go with these holographics down here, holographic over holographic, sometimes the patterns in the water are a little bit different. Now, I never tried this, and I don't know, I didn't think it would look good, but that might not look too bad. So, see, this particular holographic has a certain directional type of kind of that flame pillory type of thing. So I went vertical over vertical like this, just to match it up. But this is vertical. Go with the vertical patterning up above, and you can go with the horizontal down below. The horizontal sometimes kind of makes more sense in the water because you have those kind of horizontal striations going across water. Here's an example of, horizontal lines over horizontal lines like that, For the water, it seems to kind of make sense to have it like that. But water tends to be reflecting kind of the things, the patterns in the sky. But I don't know, that doesn't, if I did this, with this horizontal patterning down below, I don't know if it would look bad. It might look kind of interesting. You're getting that kind of weird pattern up there too, with these two kind of, the vertical and horizontal kind of bouncing off each other like that. Yeah, I don't know. That looks pretty interesting. It's like a God's Eye or something like that. Ever remember those in the 70s? Did anyone make those? It's kind of like a um, holographic God's Eye project like that. I don't know. That looks kind of interesting. All right, another thing to experiment potentially with in the future. It gives me another idea of things, of ways to use this super loud holographic, though. As far as potential kind of visual interest goes, I don't know. I like the red down here too. That this one. I need to bust out some of that like super mirrored red somewhere. I don't even have it out because I just don't use it too often. Oh, here it is right here. So this one right here, really super mirrored. Here's the example of one type of mirrored cardstock, and this one's the other one. This one right here, it looks more like brushed red, brushed aluminum or something like this. This one's like more mirrored, so this one could look more like, like something like that right down in there. It's kind of interesting, that combination like that. It certainly adds more red to that top portion like that. Here's the larger one right here like that. Let's see what the red looks like in here. Like I said, it's kind of like potentially like ominous or something like that. And then you can see the oh, let's see. Do I have? Yeah, I don't see my moon around here somewhere. Just some like a white moon. I had one cut out here earlier. I don't know if this was a moon like that. Cotton ball, but there's your red over red. We can probably do like a red thing up here and a red thing down here and have this like blood, red moon scenario in a reflection card maybe with a red foil over red foil. Okay, I'm rambling on here to like geeking out on these holographics like this. 36 white dots. Hey, that's my age there, right? I like the smaller card in the holograph. Yeah. I like this little tag. It's like, look at the size of this thing. It's really dinky. Dare we go with like an inchy? You can go with like a little, wouldn't that be cute to go with like a little like domino, like a 1x2 inch? That would be like this size right here or something like that. Inchy would be a little bit too extreme probably. It'd be a big challenge though, but yeah. Dinky scapes. But see, there's those little white stars up there again, just kind of changing the, it adds a depth into the area up there and gives this area a little bit of stability by having stationary things in there like that. So I think that really helps even on a small card like this. But, we're talking about fast little projects like this and the use of potential use for holographic. We want to this holographic like this. I mean, it's like super expensive or anything like that, but we don't want to like waste like this cool type of service like this, So you can make these little projects like that. I mean, you can use them in all kinds of different ways if you're cutting out things on a Cricut or something like that too, But as far as like card making goes, or in this case, like whatever tag making goes, it looks like it can be pretty fun. All right, let's see. Hello, Cynthia. Disco lights, yeah. That's what it kind of reminds me of. It's all that stuff from like whatever. It's like the 70s, right? Like I said, these look like lava lamps to me. Hello, Manuela. But yeah, really fun here. Lava lamp cards. Someone should do a rubber stamp of a lava lamp, and then you put this on the inside of it. That's what someone would have done back in the like 90s or early 2000s or something like that. There were stamps for like every little thing, People were doing like stamp designs, like windows or something like that. I still love those ones where you put something in the window, like a scene outside or something like that. But they were real specialized types of images. Like if someone asked Viva Las Vegas Stamps, "Hey, do you have like a lava lamp?" And if they didn't have it, they might hire like whoever their artist was to draw like a lava lamp, like a large lava lamp, and then they would make a stamp out of it. But I'm just saying that as an example. But I don't think the holographic cardstocks were out at the time, to utilize with them. Lava lamps and oil lamps and all that type of thing like that. I always loved that type of thing as a kid. Maybe that's like this. This is like a lava lamp, and then we have all these little beads of gold in here. You know what I mean? It was like those little oil lamps, with the little oil beads, coming down like that. Always like fascinated me. They need to bring that type of thing back. You can't buy them in Germany. Sure you can, Manuela. They have them. Del Stempelwinkel sells to Germany. They're delstempelwinkel.com, and she even goes to the German stamp conventions there. And been doing so for, I don't know, they've been selling them there for, Rita did it before. What was Rita's store name? I can't remember. But yeah, they've always been out there. Probably not in the first maybe 3 years of Stampscapes, but we always shipped over there though. And Del Stempelwinkel though has the entire line there. But yeah, she was just in Germany fairly recently at the I don't know if it was recent, time flies so fast, but it was at the, Hein Design puts on the stamp convention there in Germany. I think she displayed there. I think she always does. There's a lava lamp stamp on Etsy. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. How much is it? Does it say who the company is right there? Yeah, Cynthia, we need to put a something on the like one of those things, like those little warning signs about what's that? People like some people with flashing lights. There's a warning, that comes on before some of those movies or videos or something like that. If you're prone to getting what's that condition? With the flashing lights, something like that. But okay, it somewhat not super serious though, but someone mentioned in the Facebook Stamp Junkies post that I did, they said they can't work on holographic cardstock because it makes them dizzy, like that. Vertigo, yeah. Or no, not Vertigo. Vertigo's the inner ear one. No, it's that one where they kind of what's that other thing, where they kind of go into like convulsions or something like that, or whatever. I don't know. I can't think of it. I got stamping on my mind, so I can't think of those other things. It's like the strobe lights and stuff like that. It triggers something. I know it might be with vertigo too, but it's that other thing. All right, folks. Just some two very quick little dinky lava lamp cards here. That's what we should call them right here. Epilepsy? I think so, yeah. Epileptic seizures, yeah. It's when people have seizures, like from those things. Thanks, Mimi. Happy Dinky holographic card stamping. Happy Dinky holographic card stamping. Use those scraps of interesting card stock. So great way to use like I said, little small cards. I don't know. These little cards are pretty cute though. I don't know if you have to kind of wait for scraps to do that. Like the smaller it goes, kind of the cuter it gets. So here's like an example of like a, it's like a, this looks like gigantic now, with the four, just standard card size like that. But you can see the size. This one's like half this size right here. Okay. And I don't know, medium or something like that. Baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear like that. Something. All right, folks. Have a great rest of the day. drop me a note if you have any questions. Who was that that mentioned the website? If you have troubles logging on the website, drop me an email. And I don't know, we'll get that, see if we can get that straightened out. I don't know, reload the browser or something like that, or check on a different platform, or device if you have one. Check on a phone or check on a, tablet or something like that. You should be able to log on. I haven't heard someone that can't log on, but if anyone uses them, the shopping cart, you have to allow cookies. Otherwise, the shopping cart can't remember, what's been added. So sometimes people are adding things into the shopping cart, and then they go back to the site and then they add other things, but they add to the cart, but the cart doesn't remember it because they didn't allow cookies for that site. So I don't know. Any problems? Drop me an email. All right. Thanks, folks.